Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Let's talk. Today, I want to talk to you about mistakes. Why we make mistakes. And if we make mistakes, what we should learn from our mistakes. And how we are not going to make more mistakes. I have made so many mistakes in my life, personally and professionally. Trust me. I am no better than you. None of us are perfect. And I have made plenty of mistakes during my life. Some repairable, some not. But what can we do? Really, what can we do? What can you do? What can I do? If we make mistakes, okay, we made it. Number one, it happened. You want to make it or you didn't want to make it, it happened, and you made the mistakes. What we have to do? You can't go back. You cannot go back, and you cannot fix it. In the past, not in the future. Remember, you cannot fix what happened in the past, but we can do something in the future. So, if you made a mistake, like me, in the past, number one, we should learn from it. You should not just bring yourself down and dwell on it and say, I'm stupid, I'm the biggest loser, I don't know what I did, I don't know what I have done, I don't know why I did that. It happened. It happened. And if your mistake is big, like God forbid, somebody got hurt or something happened, you gotta face the consequences. You play, you pay. And you gotta be okay with that. If God forbid I kill somebody, I'm gonna face it. I'm guilty. Okay, I did. If it was a good reason, bad, whatever, I shouldn't do it. You do not break laws. That's why we have laws. You break laws, you face the consequences. Of course, you're gonna tell them that you made a mistake. I said, okay, for these mistakes, there's this punishment. And what you learn from that punishment, that's what we're talking about. Are we going to learn from that? Or no? Should we learn something from it? Of course. If you don't study, you're not going to pass the test. You're in the college, you're not studying, you're not going to pass the test. What should you learn from? You have to study. Otherwise, you're not going to pass. That's the price you pay. You're married. You cheat on your wife. You made a mistake. You tell her, I'm so sorry. I made a mistake. Okay, I'm going to forgive you, but I'm not going to forget. I forgive, but I don't forget. But the trust is broken. How are you going to repair that? Are you going to do it again? No. How are you going to repair that? You know what I'm talking about? You got to just keep learning. You got to keep adjusting, tweaking, learning. You can't go to the past and say, okay, I'm the biggest fuck up. No, it's not like that. You are not. I am not. We made mistakes. We're not perfect. Nobody's perfect except God. We all make mistakes. But how can we fix it? What we can learn from it, that's the different story. I have learned so much from my mistakes. I have lost so much money in my business because you know why? I made a mistake. I didn't hire a financial person that will complement me in my business. Usually you hire some people that they know more than you, the areas that you're not good at it. Like me, I hate dealing with numbers, but I'm very good with people, with operation, all the other stuff. But numbers, I understand them. I know what is chart of account is. I know what is the QuickBooks. I know all that stuff. I have no desire to deal with it, but I made a mistake. I thought, okay, I'm going to do it, but lost so much money. At the end of it, I had to hire somebody, come and help me. Now everything is working. I learned from my mistakes that I have to listen. I have to understand myself that I am not good at something. And when I'm not good at something, I have to ask for help. The same thing to you. I promise you, you are not good in something that you do right now. I promise you that. And some of us are stubborn and we're not going to admit or commit to it. But you better do that because the price is high, my friend. And you have to be able, really, you have to be able to forgive yourself. Some of us, unfortunately, we cannot forgive ourselves. For whatever reason is that, I don't know, we can't forgive ourselves. But you have to forgive yourself. I don't know what you have done. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you're coming from. But you are not better than the other people, but you are not worse than them either. You're human. I'm human. We all make mistakes. And then when we admit to our mistakes, and then we learn from them, we're going to have a better life. We're going to get closer to be a better person. I told you, I have learned so much in my life, personally, professionally. I have made so many mistakes, and I learned a lot along the way from my mistakes, from the other people that they gave me advice when I made those mistakes. You the same thing. You have to listen, and you have to be consistent. If somebody gives you advice, okay, you're going to listen. But are you going to do it? That's the different things. You have to listen and be consistent of taking that action in order for you to not make that mistake again. That's the key. That's the key. That's the key to prevent the disaster. Because trust me, if we don't listen, if you don't listen, I don't listen, we're going to keep the same mistakes. We've been making it many times. I'm sure you heard that, or you told somebody, you keep making these mistakes. What's wrong with you? Yeah, some people do that. You know drugs is not good, and you go keep smoking that damn thing. You smoking cigarette, you know it's not good. You keep making that mistakes. But one day you decide, oh, I'm done. I don't want to get a lung cancer. I don't want to do that. I don't want to, I don't want to get sick. This is not good for me. And you decided to not to do that because you made a mistake doing it, and you're going to stop. You're going to take advice. But if you're not consistent, nobody's going to help you. You got to be consistent by not making that mistake. If you were in the relationship and you weren't honest, that's the mistake. You have to be honest. You got to be honest for who you are when you start a relationship. You don't want to pretend to be somebody else that you are not. That's the first sign of dishonesty and breaking up, man. I'm telling you, you got to be honest. If you're driving a Mazda or Nissan, don't go rent a car and buy a BMW, or not rent a BMW or rented it. Oh, I'm good. I'm financially good. No, you're not. Be honest with yourself. Don't make that mistake. Do not make that mistakes, because next day, next week, next month, the truth will come out. And what you're going to say? Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. I tried to be somebody else that you like. No, why did you do that? You got to be yourself. So, we can learn a lot from our mistakes. I can chat with you all day, but one thing that I can tell you really is this. Make mistakes. You will still make mistakes. I promise you, after this episode, I'm going to go out there and make mistakes. But what I'm going to do that, I'm trying to really every day to teach myself to be more aware that I'm not going to make the same mistakes. I'm going to think more carefully about my actions, and I'm going to think more carefully about what I put out there. Because that's the one way that I can prevent myself of making more mistakes. I can't just say, hey, I want to keep mistakes and I want to keep learning. No. You have to understand that some mistakes are high price. And you can't go back to fix them, but you can learn from them and not repeat it. So, what I'm telling you is this. Very simple. You're not perfect. Yes, you. You are not perfect. I am not perfect. We're going to make mistakes, and we should learn from it. All of us. Until next time, just think about this. And if you like this video, share it. Tell other people. Tell other people. We all should learn from our mistakes, and we should not blame ourselves or dwell on our past. Past is past. Build the future.